Welcome to the Woman to Woman show where we believe truth plus transparency equals healing. Welcome. We are here every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go on over there and subscribe, and we would really appreciate it. So, tonight is hosted by the Beauty Flies, and tonight my Beauty Flies who are in the room at this moment is Monetta Fields, Sheila Isom, and Regina Booker. Hey ladies, come on in. Hey,
everybody.
Good evening, ladies.
how y'all doing? So you know we always have to start on a high note with a moment of gratitude. So what are you grateful for? And whoever wants to go first is fine.
I'm grateful for another day with all of my faculties working in order. I'm grateful that I have the energy, the clarity of speech and thought, and just the ability to love each of you and those I'm connected with.
Okay, come on in, ladies.
Well, I am grateful for memories. My one of my cousins just texted me to tell me that he's having a moment thinking about my dad. So I just think about the fact that although we're having our moments too, that he had an impact on others besides us, and we can look to the memories, the good times that we had with him to keep us going.
I love it. Yes, memories. That's right. Come on in, Regina.
I don't know what to say. I think I'm gonna be grateful for letting go and let God.
Awesome. That's it. Grateful for letting go. Hey Theo, we're sharing what we're grateful for. We're glad to see you.
So I'm grateful to be here.
I know that's right.
Because let me tell you something. I'm not used to this New York, New Jersey traffic anymore.
Oh, okay. So we're glad you're here. I'm grateful that I got to see my family this weekend. My two sisters were in town, and I'm so just incredibly grateful that I got to see them because we know that tomorrow's not promised. We know that time is of the essence. So I'm grateful that I got to see them. And it was my cousin's 50th birthday party. So I got to see a lot of family members who drove in, flew in, came by plane, trains, and automobile. And I am also grateful that God got all of us back home safe to our destinations, and we're doing good. So welcome. Hey Bridget, hey Sharifa, hey Renee. Thank y'all for being here tonight. So tonight we are going to talk about what is a good man, right? What makes a man a cornball? Is there anything that makes a man a cornball? So I'm going to play this clip on YouTube that this guy said today. So we know, if you don't know, because a lot of people are not into media or whatever, listening to social media or whatever, but Ciara, who is a singing artist, and she's married to Russell Wilson, who's an NFL football player, and she used to date Future, who's a rapper who has a bad reputation, right? He has maybe 8 baby mamas, maybe 9, and he has problems with all of them, and he has a child by Ciara, and when he cheated on her, Ciara kindly walked out of the situation and never looked back, which kudos, clap, because a lot of us, we keep going back for the abuse. We keep going back, right? Clap it up for Ciara. So she went and she never looked back. And this is what another brother had to say about their situation.
Ciara. Yeah, Russell ain't had that bread. She ain't gonna be with him. Russell Square. Russell Square. Ciara she has a good situation, but you gonna leave Future and get with Russell Wilson. The thing is, I think that's what you don't leave Future and get with Russell Wilson. It's a type. Everybody got a type. Yeah, that's true. Everybody has a type. You gonna leave Future and get with Russell Wilson? He's so damn square, and I love him on the field. He's a square. He's a fucking square.
Channing, you go from this level of toxicity, you just want something stable. You want the guy that was sitting with that girl with that big old mouth at the draft that was laughing, and you knew she deserved to be with him.
Goofball?
Yeah, you want that guy.
You want to get with goofballs.
So this is a guy that said the only reason why Ciara is with Russell is because he's rich and the money he has, and that Russell is a cornball and a goofball. So I'll start the conversation with, I would like to ask this guy. His name is Channing Crowder, right? And I would like to ask him, what type, as a man, how does he determine what we think as women and types? So you're calling Russell a cornball, right, and a goofball based on what you see. You only see him, like, you don't know him. You've never sat down. You never know that he's a computer geek. You've never broke bread with him. So based on his appearance, you are calling him a type and a goofball and a geek. So maybe I would like to ask him, how did he come up with that determination of who is a goofball or a cornball? Because what makes you an authority on a man that is a goofball or a cornball? Because they are taking care of their children, because they're taking care of their wife, calling him a simp and all of that. Maybe Future is your type, because I'm gonna bring the ladies in to say, he said everybody got a type. So let's talk about that, ladies. We'll go around the room, and I've been in 3 serious relationships in my life, 3 serious relationships with 3 grown men. And the only thing that they had in common as a type was they were responsible. So if that's my type, I'm good with that. So let's talk about types, ladies. Do you have a type?
I don't know that I have a type, but I think as you transition in life, right, that might change, right? So when I was younger, I might have liked the more fast, fun, free loving guy, right? But I think my type is someone that's mature, respectful, responsible. Like, what makes Russell Simmons a simp? Because he's a responsible man with morals.
Right. But that's
like what makes him a simp? Because he dresses because he doesn't walk around with his pants sagging off of his butt, because he respects his wife. I think there's a level of maturity, right? And so at the end of the day, you have individuals who are making comments, and as I hear him speak, and no judgment, but this sounds like someone that's a man that's still a boy.
Oh, well, excuse me. We coming in swinging the bat. She just hit us with the Louisville Slugger. Hold up. Yep. Let's digest that. Ladies, just come on in, because like Theo said, what makes Russell Wilson a simp? Because he doesn't wear his pants down to the back of his knees, or I mean, there are other men out here who we could name that are respectable men. Let's say Barack Obama. Is he a simp? I mean, let's say Denzel Washington. Is he a simp? Like, and you guys, we could go on and name some men out here that are they a simp or what? So come on in, Sheila. I see you unmuted.
Well, and I look at it kind of like what Theo was saying. It's just the maturity, because all we know about for Sierra is her relationship with Future. I'm sure that before then she was with the same type of guy. She probably followed the same pattern, right? As maybe she was growing up once she got in the music industry, because she was around those type of guys a lot. And then once she had her heart broken, what came out of her was what her true desires were. And if I'm correct, I think she kind of like went along the way, even though their marriage is dissolved, like Megan Good did. She had to make a pact with herself and with God. And that was the route that she chose, that led her to where she is now, with who she wants to be, with who God chose for her, because she showed that level of maturity and spiritual growth. And that's what she needed to do for herself.
Come on, Professor. The professor has spoken. Come on in, ladies, Netta and Regina. Do you have a type? I mean,
well, the first type for me is a man who follows God and honors God. Because if he honors God and follows him, he's going to do right by me. So that's first and foremost. And with that, there comes the things that have already been mentioned: stability, responsibility, provision, support, being a soft place to fall. That doesn't make him a soft man. He just, a place where I can feel safe, I can feel comforted. Those are some of the things that I would look for. And I was just thinking about what type of examples did the NFL player have to even create the checklist for what makes a person less than? Because really, that's what he's saying. He's inferior.
Oh,
and I don't see that at all. As a matter of fact, where does his opinion count? Just take care of your home. Let Russell take care of his.
But I have a question. Like, who is this dude anyway that's talking? Like, who is he?
He's
Because
an
I know who Russell Wilson is, although I called him Russell Simmons. But I know who he is, right? If I see a picture of him, if I hear his name, I know he's a football player. Who's this dude that's passing a judgment and opinion on him?
right. He's an ex-NFL podcaster.
But what's his name?
Oh, Channing Crowder. I know, right? I mean that's the point here. And Regina, I want you to come in and talk about, is there a type for you? Like, have you had a type, or do we really have a type? Because I'm looking at the 3 men I was with, and I'm like, no, there's nothing similar about them except their level of responsibility.
A type, I'm with what Netta said. God first. That's my type, first and foremost.
Mm.
Next is, what can we bring to the table together to be a power couple?
Oh, come on, sister.
Now, what you got, what I bring, let's bring this together. And that is for me, because it could be different types of when you say type, and the way he dressed, the way he moves, his swag, or I'm into investments, I'm into self-care, I like to volunteer. Can you match me with that level? Do you have your own apartment? Do you have your own house? Do you have your own car? Let's bring this together and let's see what we could do. But first, most is God, and we go from there. And the respect and all that. So a type.
Can you match me with that level? So this is the next angle I want to talk about this from. We have men have been emasculated enough by women, but when the emasculation starts to happen by other men, this is why we watch what we watched at the Oscars with Will Smith, because so many people have said that Will Smith is a simp, that Will Smith is a punk, that Jada Pinkett wears the pants. This is when we have these moments of keep my name out your mouth. Like, would Russell Wilson be wrong if he was in an environment with this man and they just happened to see each other and he went up to him and said, keep my wife's name out your, not slapping him. I'm just saying, at what level do you get to disrespect another man who and we all know that men have egos, right? We all know that. We all know that a man wants to feel like a man. A man wants to be respected like a man. So to have total disrespect for him and his wife, in other words, even to say that Sierra has a type, like, oh, she was with this person. Why are you counting my wife's bodies? Why are you doing that? So you put my wife on blast so people can go and Google her to see who she was with and what she did. Why are you doing that? So I want to just say to the Black men who are listening really quickly, I just want to say to Black men who are saying things about other Black men, if you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And if you can't close your mouth about another Black man, if it's something negative, I think that it's a reflection of what you see in the mirror. So I think that this person, Channing Crowder, and any other man, and there's a lot of men out here who are these relationship gurus who are down talking about Black men and all of this other stuff. I just want to say to all of those men, the things that you are speaking out of your mouth is who you are. It's how you feel about yourself, and you're deflecting on other Black men because you feel like a simp, because you feel like you're not our type, because you feel like a cornball. And again, with the things that you're saying, for us as women, and I'm going to speak for all of us here, all of the beauty flies, we think that you're a simp. right now. We're not going to call you a simp because we don't want to name call, but we think you have simp behavior and cornball behavior. So when you start to talk about other black men, I think you should go look in the mirror and say to yourself, in some type of way, I'm feeling inferior, insecure. I'm feeling bad about myself. So I'm going to go and self-reflect and maybe do some work on myself. And thank you, Angela. It's a turn off. Thank you so much, Angela.
I was going to say that Russell Wilson might be like, who is like I am? Who is Chance Crowder?
Right.
Right? He might be like, dude, who are you to even speak on me? But the other side of it that I think takes it to a whole nother level, right? It's just about us as a people in general, right? We are so quick to talk about one another, to create situation where we're divided, right? And just to judge and be mean-spirited and for no reason at all. Like there was no reason for them to even be having this conversation.
Right.
Right. And so I agree, Charles. I agree 100%. Perhaps he's mad because Sierra didn't choose him.
Come on. We ain't even playing tonight. We're not playing tonight. Come on in, sisters. Again, we have to address the issue of black men talking about other black men. So speak on that, guys. What do you think? Why do you think that this is happening so much now?
Well, I mean, getting back to even what Theo said is, where is the uplifting of each other? And sometimes that uplifting has to be course correction. So you don't really hear that anything spectacular about what Future is doing. It's particularly when it comes to women. So on the one hand, instead of having this conversation about the type of guy that you think that Russell Wilson is, how about talking about how we should be treating our women so that a man can have a relationship like Russell and Sierra have?
Come on, ladies. I mean, listen, we here to share tonight because when we hear these things, it is disturbing to me to hear another black man and two other black men sit and laugh like this is funny. You're talking about in my book, and I mentioned my book, Men Hurt Too. The first thing that I say in my book is men are human beings first. Russell Wilson, Will Smith, and any other man who is being dragged right now, and this is all over the internet, so you know that they see it. This is horrible to do to people. They're human beings before they're actors. They're human beings before they're men. They are human beings, so they bleed blood. They have emotions, they have feelings, they get angry, they get to a point of I've had enough, and then people want to make them out to be the bad guy. And again, we're never condoning bad behavior, but we always have to be aware of when enough. I've been to a point where enough was enough. And whether it was my child's school and somebody had to be there with me to say, calm down, because I was about to tear the roof off the mother. I've been there when I'm protecting somebody that I love that I don't feel can protect themselves. It wasn't the right thing to do, but when you come for my child and I feel some kind of way, I might slap you. And again, I'm not condoning slapping because I was in a situation with my son where there had been this whole big catastrophe. And when I got there, I was so pissed that, I had to have people really like reel me in because I was like, no, I'm about to burn the building down. Because what you not going to do. So come on in, Regina and Netta.
My thought is, who are his people? Is there someone that can speak into his life? Where is the accountability? We have each other, and social media is blowing things up that are negative. There are positive things being done, but that's not what we're going to hear about. So it's about the likes, it's about the ratings, it's about, how many people can join in the negativity. Where are the accountability partners for these young men who are saying things that are not building anybody? They're tearing down. Watch your words. I mean, words have power. So the same thing that he's doing to Russell, trust and believe. Should he not get himself together, it is going to come back.
And maybe that's why he's not in the NFL anymore. Or maybe that's why he's doing a podcast, which I'm not knocking podcasters. But you went from a NFL, and I'll go do some research on it, but you went from a high paid NFL player to a podcaster. Did you save your money? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about you teaching young people who are in sports now how to save their money to make sure that they don't go broke, whether they out of the NFL because they got an injury or maybe because they were, they had retired because they were older, they couldn't keep up. But what did you do with your money? What did you do? How much money do you have in bank? What is your net worth? I would be interested to know, because you have time to sit around and talk about Russell and Sierra. And one thing that Charles said that was awesome. He said she had her own money before he made his.
Yeah.
Come through, Charles. Come through with information.
Exactly. But the other side of it is too, right? So where his people, he needs to actually evaluate his circle, because you have people in your circle who are condoning bad and poor behavior. Because what they should have been saying was, hey man, let's talk about what Russell Wilson has done as far as stepping in to take care of another man's child.
Oh.
Let's talk about the smile that you see on Sierra's face, right? Because she's in a loving relationship with a man who respects her, right? Right. So he needs to reevaluate his circle, because right about now he's down here with chickens instead of flying with eagles.
Oh, come on. Wait a minute. And something that Theo said that was really, really a big, big deal. This man has stepped in not as a stepdaddy, as a father. Not that we're taking anything away from Future. That is always going to be his father. But this man stepped in wholeheartedly, 100%, and does not treat this child any different than his own children. Takes him to the football field, does everything with him. And if that's a simp, Jesus, could you send me one? Put me on a list of the simps, God, because I'm good on that. Like if we all want a simp. We all want a simp. We all want a cornball, because guess what? Again, there's a level of maturity for women and men, because there's some women out here, again, there's some women out here who are attracted to Future and that type of behavior, because they're still running the streets. They're still in the bar. They're still not managing their money. They're still smoking blunts. They still drinking Hennessy out the bottle. You're supposed to elevate, right? Sierra is supposed to elevate. She's supposed to evolve into the evening gowns, right? She wasn't supposed to be in a short halter tank top anymore that she was in at 21 years old, because neither am I. And she's somebody's mother. You're supposed to change. And if you haven't, like Theo said, you are clucking with chickens instead of soaring with eagles. Come on in, Sheila or Regina.
What I want to say is, when are we going to stop tearing each other down? Our lives tear us down enough.
Right.
And, why? Like, what is the big deal? I feel like he's jealous. As Charles said, he wants her.
Right.
Keep her. Mind your business. We back to minding our business, aren't we? What does that have to do with you?
Right. Mind your business ministry.
Right. And you're an ex of something. You're an ex football player. So that's saying a lot. Well, why are you an ex? Where's your money? What did you do with your money? I think you need to speak to Dr. Royce Watkins, who I follow. Love him.
Yeah.
He had the same situation.
Right.
His someone was talking about his wife. The guy was talking about his wife so much. The guy went to his conference and people were saying, are you going to approach him? He goes, no, I have not a problem with him. But I would like to ask him, what beef do you have with me? Why are you putting all these things on social media about me? And basically about his wife. But the way he handled that, and then the guy talked about him so much, but you paid money to go to his conference. What does that say about you?
Ooh. Come on, these people want a front row seat to be disrespectful, and you can't do that. Like these are not good times to be disrespectful to people, period.
But
Sheila?
Look at what Stephen Price says, right? I'm retired military, not bragging, a new home, just got Chevy Blazer, Bitcoin, etc. You can't have stuff like this being a screwball and get a pension, but we are supposed to be dusty.
Right. No, we not. And thank you so much for sharing, Stephen. But we are supposed to level up every year in our life. If not every year, every 5 years. We should not be looking at the same thing or looking at things from the same lens. We should have gone and done work on ourselves. Should have gone and learned something new. Should have changed our circle if we had not elevated. We should look around and say, why do I have time to talk about why do I have time to talk about Sierra? Why do I have time to talk about Sierra when Sierra's in a whole nother tax bracket than I am? And I got time to sit and talk about her. She's doing something right. Come on in, Sheila.
You know how you'll see these clips on social media where the couples are asking each other questions and then they get scored for how many they get right to see if they're compatible or how well they really know each other. A few years ago, someone had done that with Russell and Sierra. So Sierra was asking the question, and the question was, what is your biggest fear? And he turned to her and he said, you know what that is. What did I tell you? And she said, yes, your biggest fear is losing me.
Woo!
Who doesn't want that?
Woo!
Who doesn't want that?
If that's a cornball, send them my way.
But another, these type of men like this Channing Crowder guy has been raised in a toxic masculinity environment to say that. And I'm going to say this, and I would love to talk to him. If you're tuned in, Channing Crowder, and if somebody could get this to him, please send him our way. We would love to have him on the show just to talk to him. If you've been in an environment where your father did not hug you, or if you've been in an environment where somebody told you that being vulnerable, you a punk, or if you cry, you a punk, or if you say, I'm afraid to lose you, you're a punk. So if you've been in that toxic environment your whole life, your lens really is telling you that Russell's a cornball, Barack Obama's a cornball, Denzel Washington is a cornball, LL Cool J is a cornball, because LL Cool J been with his wife, take care of his kids, and he's simping, and he'll come on TV anytime for his wife to say, I've been through taking care of my wife through cancer. I'm here for my kids. You ain't never seen me with no another woman. So you're based in your reality, and a lot of men do this who have not done work on themselves. They have this toxic mentality that a black man who is taking care of business, who would call his wife and say, babe, what are we doing this weekend? Because the boys want to go out. These toxic men, and I've been around it, these toxic men will say, look at you, you henpecked. Why you got to call your wife? Because it's the grown-up, considerate thing to do. And they would make this person, and I've been around this in a personal situation, where they would make this man feel like, you a punk. Oh, look at you. You got to call home. You got to ask your wife. And I'm like, he's in a relationship, like a responsible relationship. He just can't make plans without his wife. So why are you acting like he's doing something wrong? Because you don't have the maturity to be in a relationship and handle responsibility. So you're going to make him feel some kind of way because you don't know yourself. You're supposed to call your wife and say, I'm going to be late. This is where I'm at. So for those toxic men, they are putting it out there that a man who does these things is a simp, is a cornball. You got to call your wife. Yeah, I got to call my wife. So Russell, I just want to say that we love you. If you just tuned in, you're tuned into the Woman to Woman show. We're here every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network. Please put your comments in the chat. Thank you, Angela. Yes, respect for the spouse or significant other. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Angela. Haters, Bridges, that's a respectful, decent thing to do. We appreciate you. Yes, Samuel L. Jackson. These are all men who are doing what they're supposed to do when it comes to their significant other. And we have toxic men going around programming us as women too, to tell us that if you with this type of man, you got a punk. So we're like, well, what am I supposed, like, wait a minute. So it is 8:30, so it's time for our therapy card if you have it, Netta. But if you have any questions in the chat, please ask us. And go ahead, Theo, if you had something to say.
I was like, oh, the therapy card.
Oh, yes. Yes.
No, I was just saying, like, I'm just like appalled that this is even a conversation. Like, I'm like still trying to figure out how they even got on the topic, right? Because it's none of their business. Like Regina said, like, mind your business.
Right. Y'all don't have nothing else to talk about to be relevant. but to tear down another Black man. And there was 3 of them. And one of the guys was kind of sort of saying, you know, women are tired of this. And he just over talked him. No, women have a type and he's a cornball. Oh, so she gonna pick the cornball. And again, my question is, who are you? What makes you the cornball meter? What gives you the authority to say who's a cornball, who's popular, who's popping, unless you have a type of man?
That's but I think it's like Charles said, he wanted Sierra.
Unless you have a type of man, if you're judging a man, and I'm just gonna say this, like, oh, he's cool, or he's a bad boy, or you judging a man, he's a cornball, he's a simp. Why are you judging men? Because maybe you have a type. Maybe you in a circle with us, you know, like, oh, he's a cornball, because that's what women do. That's what women do when they sit around. Other men don't judge other men. And when they do, they say it differently. They say, oh, that's a cool suit. They don't sit around and be like, look at this cornball and this type and that. Are you interested in Future? And so, I mean, sometimes I ask myself these questions. Why are you sitting around judging men and the type of man they are? Because when I talk about 2 different men, is because I'm trying to decide which one I'm interested in. Okay? I'm like, am I interested in him because look at his legs? Or am I interested in him because he's interested in playing cards? But I'm gauging my interest in these 2 men. Is it the shoulders for me? So what are you judging when you look at Russell and say he a cornball? His curly hair? So curly hair makes you a cornball. Okay, I'm sorry. Come on in, Netta, because I'm just trying to figure out why another brother, and the brothers on here, please. I don't see the men around me judging other men like that.
Not at all. I remember a young man, we were having a conversation, and somebody kind of came at him with a comment that was negative, and he said, a lion does not concern himself with a sheep's opinion.
Woo!
In other words, what did you just say? Were you talking to me?
Right.
So anyway, the question,
right.
It says, finish this sentence. When I feel fear in a relationship with others, I blank.
Ooh.
And it says, journal or discuss with someone you trust ways you respond to that fear. Is projection a response, and why?
Wow. Read it one more time.
Read that again.
When I feel fear in a relationship with others, then it has a blank. And at the end, it says, discuss it, which we're going to do, in ways that you respond to that fear. And it says, is projection a response? And if so, why? Are you projecting what you're feeling? We just talked about on someone else.
Right. You be plucking these cards like God be on time. I know. When I feel fear in a relationship with others,
I blank.
I remove them from my life. I mean, I don't want you around me, because I feel like I should not feel fear in a relationship with anybody, because love casts out fear. So I don't want to be around people who I would have to feel any fear, whether it's to watch my back, whether it's to watch my money, whether they're going to take advantage of me. So if I feel any type of fear in a relationship with others, I'm more likely to say block, delete, and party over.
Amen. It's no relationship. If I
feel fear, I don't trust you.
There is no relationship.
Trust you, we not. Come on in, ladies.
Yeah, I was going to say probably the same thing. Like, I think I just would have to step back, reevaluate the situation, and remove myself from the situation. Because if I'm around you and I'm fearful of you, I got to figure out why first, and then which means I got to take a step back, and then based on that, you know, I'm probably going to be like, okay, let me just take a step back, and maybe I need to love this person from afar or whatever, because that does speak to, what is it that I'm fearing from you, right? And then also, I don't want that fear, I don't want whatever that is to be projected on something else in my life, right? And it speaks to also, is it because I don't trust you? Is it because you did something that has me fearful, right? So I might just have to be like, for a minute, let me take a step back and figure out if you even need to still be a part of my life.
I love it. Sheila, Regina.
Well, I think about it. When I was younger, I probably would have been saying to myself, what are you doing to make yourself feel this way? Right. But, as I've gotten older, I've learned to trust my instincts. And my instincts have led me in the right direction, whether it was questioning my contribution to that feeling, or recognizing that it's not me, it is definitely them. And I need to remove myself, because I am all about not having toxicity in my life. I've worked too hard to be who I am right now to worry about being fearful, mistrustful of somebody else. So it's like, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Wow.
Yes, I agree. Step away. Is their negativity trying to spew on me, and I'm not going to have it. So basically, my fear as I got older, like right now, especially in the last 5 or 6 months, like I said, this whole, us, this sisterhood, this thing we have is a therapy. Every night is a therapy. So I'm just beginning to pull more layers and layers and layers and layers off. So now I don't look at it as as I told you guys, that's my greatest thing, just fearful. So now it's just like, oh, you know what? That's not something I need, and I'm not putting my energy, and that's projecting negative energy towards me, and that's fearful. But that's that person, and I don't need that. Like Theo said, and she, like everyone said, I'm gonna love you from afar. Right now, you have no place in my life.
Mm.
This moment at this season, maybe I can come back and revisit that. But right now, I'm on a different road, and I can't take you with me, because you can't take everybody with you.
Yo, Netta, you got to answer the card too, honey.
I did. I said I would remove them, but I guess along with what Sia was saying, an assessment. What is making me fearful? Why? What happened? Is there an experience? Is this something that I'm bringing forward? That projection part. But once I'm clear, and I know it's not me, God bless you.
Yeah, and another part of that too for me is, and I say this all the time, and if I can count how long I've known you, right, in days, 365 days, if I could actually sit and in my head count how many months I've known you, how many days I've known you, there's a possibility that you may not be worth the effort of straining myself to figure out why this fear is here, or me even further having a conversation with you. Now, people who are in my life and bring me value, and we have a situation or a pause, or something happens where I feel some sort of fear, or we're going through something, you might be worth it to me to pull back for a minute to then come and have a conversation with you. But I'm telling you right now, if it's somebody that I'm just meeting, or it's been a couple of years, not so much. I may just be like, you know what, a reason, a season, and a lifetime, and I have my lifetimers, and this may be a reason and a season. Let me sit down. What did I learn from this, right? Because this person is making me feel some sort of fear, or they're making me feel myself. Maybe it's not them, maybe it's me. But whatever way I'm feeling fear, I don't want to be feeling fear around anybody in my life at this point. So are you worth my time of, giving you any energy?
I want to say really quickly, the thought just came to me, the scripture, the Lord has not given us the spirit of fear. So if you're feeling fear, then we already know it's not of God.
Come on, you gonna start preaching? Come on now. I love the preaching. You know, I love to go to church with y'all. Like we can bring this thing all the way back around. Because we have to know now, and even for the younger people who are listening, like on our journey, and I'll speak for myself on my journey. I've wasted a lot of time on a lot of people that if I knew what I knew now, I would not have done that. I've learned, and no, and again, I say this all the time. I don't cut people off. I let them go in my life now. And if I cut you off, and I was talking about this a little bit earlier with somebody, if I cut you off, you definitely gave me the scissors because I'm not into cutting people off. I'm into growing. I'm into accountability. I'm into mending things and having good experiences with people. But if you give me any type of fear, I will let you go and I will see if maybe you gravitate back toward me to have the conversation of what's going on. Because for many years, and I want all the young people to understand this, for many years, I was the one, well, what happened? What did I do? And when I stopped calling people, some of those people stopped calling me. And that's when I knew that the season was over. Because I said, wait a minute, don't pick the phone up, see what happens. Maybe it's time for them to reach out to you because you've extended the olive branch all your life. So we got to learn now in this season of our life that we don't have time to waste on fear, but we only have time to live in spaces of faith.
And protect your peace.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So thank you all for tuning in. If you just came in, this is the Woman to Woman show, and we are your beauty flies. We are here each and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Woman to Woman show on the New You Nation Network. Tonight we are talking about have responsible men been given a bad name because they're responsible? Have they been called corny because they're not the bad boy, which is not taking care of their kids, not paying their bills, and wearing their pants down around their ankles? So a man who was clean cut with a suit on and his haircut, smelling good and handling his business, not cheating on his wife, society has deemed them a simp. Society has deemed them a punk, weak. Your wife is in control. Your wife wears the pants. No, this is not true. And we want other brothers to listen tonight to say, stop saying that. And something came to my mind while we were talking about this. And this is from another angle, and we can talk about this. We went through in school cliques, the light-skinned girls and the dark-skinned girls, or the girls with the pretty hair and the girls with the kinky hair, or the different phases we went through as women. I'm starting to kind of sort of think like this is a man thing, but it's not about light skin and dark skin, right? I'm thinking like because Russell has curly hair, right? And he's light skinned, but he has curly hair, and he carries himself a certain way, and he's not loud and rah-rah. He's very soft spoken. That men who want, let me just say this, who want to call themselves alpha males need to go in the dictionary and look up what an alpha male is. Because you saying somebody is a simp, a punk, and this and that, and talking bad and not handling your business, you're not an alpha male. An alpha male is a leader, a man who handles his business, a man who is about it. So I think that they have mixed up what an alpha male is, as well as women with feminism. Like feminism, y'all have gone too far. So go back to the original definition of what an alpha male is. Like an alpha lion, he takes care of the whole, what do you call it? The whole pride.
The cubs or whatever they are.
The pride, he takes care of the whole pride. He leads, he takes care of everybody. You understand what I'm saying? That is alpha behavior, to take care of your tribe, your pride, your family. So we need to go back and revisit this with our brothers, that it doesn't make you an alpha male to tear down another man or to be rambunctious and out in the streets fighting, because the alpha male in my house, he gonna make me feel secure. Babe, you good. The bills are paid, and I'm not saying I'm not looking for nobody for that reason, but an alpha male wants to lead, and he's going to make sure I want to be submissive.
But does it speak to this individual, this dude, whoever he is, right? His insecurity.
Yes.
Right? There's a level of insecurity that you have to, for no apparent reason, right? Because I'm still trying to figure out why he's having this conversation. You have to, for no apparent reason, lodge an attack on a man who is minding his business, taking care of his family, loving his wife, and being a mature, responsible adult.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to step back and think about, what are you insecure about? Like, why? There's something about Russell that makes you feel insecure. And Russell
you know
doesn't
what?
have to say or do anything to you.
And you
I
know the sad part about it is he's not the first person. This is not the first time this conversation has come up about Russell Wilson being a simp. This is not the first time. This is not the first time this conversation has come up about Will being weak. This is not the first time. There's several men that have been targeted for being a simp or weak. And I'm just trying to tell our men that we must stop that, as well as Black women. We too must stop emasculating Black men. Go ahead, Regina.
just I Googled him.
Uh-oh.
So this is something from August 11, 2011. It says outspoken linebacker Channing Crowder announced his sudden retirement on Tuesday, just 1 week after Miami Dolphins released him after only 6 seasons.
Oh,
Crowder was never shy about speaking his mind, and sometimes it came back to bite him.
oh,
Perhaps the Dolphins released him so early in his career because they was tired of his troublesome mouth. So that lets you
oh.
know.
Well, thank you, Regina. Oh,
Thank you.
He has
Now,
all kind of insecurities.
So he's had issues.
Right. He needs therapy, and this is a reflection of things that happened way before the NFL. So he needs to go dig
he
back
needs
into his
prayer.
past. Yeah, he definitely needs prayer, but he needs to go back and to his past of where this started. Because y'all know I'm a big advocate for Black men, and my book Men Hurt Too talks about these things, like when you didn't please your parents, when you didn't please your father, when you weren't good enough, when the girls didn't like you in school. These are the things that show up. So he needs to go back and revisit whatever it is that has him troubled. The girl that didn't want him in the ninth grade, who moved on, married, and got somebody else. He needs to go back and revisit that.
He needs your book, Men Hurt
That's
Too.
true. Yeah. Maybe you need to find his information and send it.
Yes, because
And then say, come on and chat with me.
he needs some support. He needs strong men in his life, like you said, to course correct. I think about my childhood. I grew up on a farm in North Carolina, and my grandfather purchased all of this acreage using wisdom, because of course they wouldn't sell it to him. So there was a strategy in place, and now our family gets to benefit from that. But what happened is he established his role as the patriarch of our family. So everybody, all of his children have a home on this property. And so every Sunday we got to go together and eat dinner with this patriarch and matriarch, and they poured into us. And so his sons, and then his grandsons, and his nieces and nephews, and the adopted children. There was always somebody at the family home because there was an example being set. So I feel I'm saddened that Channing didn't have the examples in his life. He needs a pour at this point. So whoever the man is that's listening to this show or has access to him, go save another brother.
Because this is clearly, like Regina said, from her going to do some research on him, this is clearly a pattern of him showing, like I said, when our young men turn into older men who were in toxic masculinity situations where this is what being tough looks like. I'm going to go to the NFL field and tell these people how this job, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not coming to practice. And when I come to practice, you're going to put me on the field and you lose your job. And then you retire because basically probably nobody wanted you. And this is what networking is about. We heard this from, who was it? George Fraser, who said, people get together and they talk and they say, hey, we're thinking about signing Channing Crowder. And then the other person says, nah, man, he ain't nothing but trouble. Like, yeah, you don't even know why nobody's picking you up, right? And this is about integrity, character, and we are. It's a small world. So when we begin to do things and be toxic around people, and opportunities come, and you've shown your ass, excuse my French, and they're in a locker room, or the coaches are talking, and they're saying, "Man, you don't want none of that." So at this time in his life right now, the people that are around him, somebody, I would hope that one of y'all, my beauty flies, my core, my coach, Dr. DC Marshall, I would hope, Stephanie Ferris Butterfly, that you will pull my coattail and say, Trey, this is not a good look for you, because it's you and not everybody else. So we have 9 minutes left. So let's go around the room and let's just give a bit of advice, whatever you would like your final thought to be tonight for anybody who's listening, and anybody can start.
I would like to say, be mindful of your words, mindful of those around you. You don't know other people's stories. We all have one. So be the difference maker, be the one that can change the trajectory of someone's life. Be, like I said before, be worth following, be worth listening to, be an example to someone else. That's how we change generations, pouring into other people. Don't allow it to be just about you getting yours, elevating yourself. But once you're elevated, bring someone else along with you.
Come on now. That was good stuff. Come on in, ladies.
Well, Nana said what I was going to say. But basically, teach one. Once you reach back, bring somebody with you. Just, and don't be, the negativity has to stop, love on someone. You don't know what their situation is. Don't talk about people. You really don't know what they went in. And your little talking can just, that be the one that you snap. And your snap might get you hurt. So, just be
Yes,
mindful.
I know that's right.
The power of internal growth is amazing. It will give you joy. It will give you relief. It will give you a release. It will also help you to find your purpose, part of which is ultimately reaching back and uplifting your people, uplifting others, being of service to others. If you can just start looking at growing and putting away those old things that didn't do anything for you and still aren't, although you may be of the belief that it is, when you are able to see that with that power of discernment, the weight just comes off of you.
I love that, Sheila. It's not serving you. You are, from that thing that Regina read about him, that little bit of information that Regina read about him shows that he's in the same space. At, when was that, 2018 you said?
No, it was 2011.
2011. Wow, that's even worse. You're in the same space from 2011 of negativity in your life right now. So you have not grown from 2011 to 2022. What a waste of a good man. And I'm going to speak that into his life. What a waste of a good man. But today could be the last day that you waste that good man that's inside of you. Come on in, Theo.
I would echo what everyone else said, but I also would say that I would hope that there has been someone that has listened to his podcast, a male figure who has taken the time to pull him aside or sit him down and say, hey, you need to really reevaluate how you're moving, how you're talking, how you're judging people. I'm hoping that there is somebody that can be, as we would say, like, I am my sister's keeper, that there's somebody that will recognize that I am my brother's keeper and reach out to him. And if that doesn't happen, Oddly enough, he is married because I Googled him as well.
Oh, okay.
And I would hope that his wife will possibly have a conversation with him and say, you know what, hon, that wasn't a good look. You really need to think about the topics that you're having on your podcast and reevaluate and ask him, why do you care who Sierra is with? Because if my husband, I'd be like, why you even looking and worried about Sierra?
That's it. That is it. So he is married and has the nerve to disrespect somebody else's wife. Has the audacity to disrespect somebody else's wife, and has the audacity to disrespect another Black man. I would like to say, for the rest of our lives, or let's just start today. How about we shine a light on the people who are doing positive things instead of trying to dim their light by assuming things about them, right? We shine all these lights on negative people. We shine all these lights on love and hip hop, women fighting on TV. We shine all these lights on these different young ladies who are out here. And I'm not knocking anybody on Meg the Stallion with her breast out. Her and Cardi B practically doing porn on TV when we have a young lady. Speaking of a young lady, my cousin's daughter, my first cousin's daughter, my cousin Kim, and her daughter Amber just became a pediatrician, just became a doctor. But we would rather shine a light on Meg the Stallion and Cardi B doing porn and half naked licking on each other, and Lizzo half naked, and women fighting on reality shows, than to shine a light or have a reality show with these young ladies. I watched the graduation virtually. These young Black women who became doctors, Netta's daughter, who graduated from Howard University with honors. But we would rather look at those young ladies and find something to pick apart about. Oh, they cornballs because they went to school and didn't go get drunk. They cornballs because they went to class every day. They're cornballs because they didn't show up at the party. They're cornballs, right? This is what we would say about them instead of saying, wow, you went to school for 6 years, 4 years, graduated with honors, was focused. You a bad chick. We wouldn't say to Russell, like Theo said, you took in somebody else's son like your own and told this dude, she don't need your coins. We not going to court and doing this. You take your little coins and roll them up and take them to the bank and your quarter rolls and do what you need to do, bro, because I got this. Your son not never going to go without. Let's shine a light on these brothers. Will Smith, instead of calling him a simp and a sissy and a punk and his wife, let's shine a light on him instead of pushing these brothers to the brink of destruction, of making them implode so long because you are attacking them as a man, their manhood, that they have to go out of their character to prove to the world they're a man. Let us, from this moment on, shine a light on the good parts of these brothers who are doing what they're supposed to do instead of trying to find something wrong with them, because it is just wrong and it's causing chaos and corruption in this world, and we need to do better as a people. So let's shine a light on the good things. We will continue here on the New You Nation Network to give content that nurtures you. We will continue on the New You Nation Network in a woman to woman show to uplift, motivate, and inspire you to do better. We will not shine a light on your flaws. We will not shine a light or tear you down because it makes us feel better. Because when one wins, we all win. And we have the world against us as Black people. The world is against us as Black people. So we must be united as Black men and women to uplift, empower, inspire, motivate, and shine a light on the goodness that is in us so that the world can see it. We must stop putting out dirty content. Everything we see on the media, we can't even have a Netflix series where it is a positive group of women doing positive things, or a Netflix series, or a Hulu series, or a Prime series, or anything you watch is full of negativity. And we must, as a people, turn that around so that the world can see who we really are as Black people. And I'm going to end it right there and say thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in. We don't take that lightly. It's a privilege to be in your life. Follow us on Instagram, W2W Show, W the number 2W Show. Please subscribe to the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. And don't forget to share, because sharing is caring. Again, we believe truth plus transparency equals healing. Remember, you are only as sick as your secrets. It's healing time. See you all next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Woman to Woman Show on the New You Nation Network. I love you, beauty flies.
Love you. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Sister, I need you to walk with me on this journey. Yes, hold me accountable, 'cause sometimes I need to know the truth. Sister, I love you. We're one in the same, 'cause we're sharing the pain of the world as we know it to be. Sister, I need you to walk with me on this journey. Yes, hold me accountable, 'cause sometimes I need to know.